What's good, YouTube? It's your homie Pitch Black, back with another reaction. Um, I want to see what this going on. This is my guy Anton Daniels get confronted by a simp. This happens. Probably nothing happens because Anton Daniels, that's my guy. He's very informative. On him. Shout out to the Millionaire Morning Show and the Bag Chasers. Um, yeah, let's see what he's talking about. Let's go on. Let's go.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Anton Daniels is a very successful YouTuber who has grown a lot over the last year and a half. And it's not just his political content that catches fire, it's a lot of his views on relationships. And earlier today, I just happened to be looking for another particular topic when I came across a video of Anton and somebody basically reacting to it. I want to hear what Anton first has to say, and then we're going to come back.
Women have largely been the bane of a lot of men's existence, and it is the downfall of some of the biggest kingdoms. You work your whole life, you build it up, and then you fumble it over a woman. All right. So
That's kind of true.
Shazam!
That bull's hat is fire though. I'm gonna keep it a buck. That bull's hat is fire. But Anton be right a lot of times, man. People just don't want to agree with him, man. But he be right.
A, never deal, or I would never advocate for a man to marry a woman that is a single mother. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not an advocate for it. I think it is one of the dumbest moves that a guy can pull.
Now
that's his perspective. He's been married 20-something years. I think he married his high school sweetheart or something like that. So from the outside looking in or from the inside looking out, it's not a good idea. And that's his perspective. And we have to realize that that's okay for people to give their perspective and think things differently than everybody else instead of getting up in an uproar about things that people say. Because everybody's not going to agree with you. But that doesn't mean they're wrong. That means y'all just don't agree.
Anton, the guy who's going to be responding to Anton is a brother by the name of Motivation Jason.
See, it don't really matter what you are a fan of or what you advocate for. It's really about what God says in his word. And I find it funny and diabolical for you to wear a shirt that says, follow God, not culture, only for the words that's coming out of your mouth, spoken from your heart, contradicts the shirt that you're wearing. If you really follow God, you will know his word says, he who without sin should cast the first stone. And that's in reference to Jesus saving a woman from judgment, from being stoned.
What does that have to do with his opinion? Come on, man, with this, man. Come on, man. Stop it. That's his opinion. If God didn't want you to have an opinion, he wouldn't have gave you free will to think about it. That's his opinion. Just like this right here is your opinion. And just like you are reacting to his opinion, I'm reacting to your opinion. And then somebody might react to my opinion. It's all opinion based.
To death. And a lot of you men operate in that similar spirit. I call it the ungodly sassy man syndrome, ungodly sassiness, where a lot of you get this.
So we got to be sassy because we giving an opinion unlike yours? That don't make no sense. You can't call nobody sassy because their opinion is not like yours. What are you talking about? Man is so quick to use sassy. You wouldn't use sassy to a man in his face. That's crazy. You're not going to call Anton sassy to his face. So why are you going to call him sassy on the internet?
This thirst and this craving to see a single mother struggle and suffer, as if single mothers don't deserve grace, love, redemption.
I didn't see none of these niggas doing all this shit when Kevin Samuels was around. When Kevin Samuels was around, these niggas was quiet. And Kevin Samuels was outside Do you hear me? But he wasn't paying you niggas no attention. You niggas couldn't even talk to him. So you think Anton Daniels is a little bit more accessible, so you feel like going at Anton Daniels.
And a lot of y'all, some of y'all men that operate this way, not all, but enough of you, you put on your referee shirt, your referee hat, and your whistle, and you play interference, holding men back. You don't qualify. You don't qualify for this.
Who said anything about qualifying? See, now you moving the goalposts because you were.
Type of man, that's what y'all are coming across as. This the ungodly sassiness syndrome that a lot of y'all, stage 4, it's in your DNA, and you can't help it. And a real man of God, a man that loves God in his heart, don't operate this way. Don't see women this way. A real man of God would not agree with how a lot of y'all men think and how a lot of y'all men view women. Real talk. And how convenient for some of y'all men to grow up in a single mother-led household. You wanted your father there, but he chose to not be there. He knew where.
You couldn't even, you see how you just stuttered over your words? Because you don't know. How do you know? How you know? How do you know what went on in my household? You don't. You're assuming because you don't know. You don't know if the mom ran him off. You don't know if she didn't allow him to do certain things. You don't know. You're assuming. And because certain people grew up in a single parent household, they don't want other men to do that. What are you talking about? Women do it all the time. They tell sis, don't do that. Girl, don't do that. That nigga broke. He don't want it. Okay, so when a man tell another man, bro, it's not in your best interest to get with a single mother and raise another man's kid. It doesn't work out that way. I done it. It doesn't work out that way. It doesn't work. It doesn't work good. It works better if you find a female with no kids and then you create your own family environment instead of a mixed family environment. We're not saying that it can't be a good thing. We're just not saying don't make that your first priority.
Where you were, but he chose to not show up. He chose to not come to your football games, basketball games, baseball.
Bruh, come on. Yo, see, you see what I'm saying, bro? These dudes, man. You just
ball games, track meets, soccer, spelling bee, graduation. He chose to not come there. And your mom wanted him there. She tried to get him to pull up. And
how you know? How you know? How you know? How you know he didn't want to how you know he didn't fall out with her because of what she did and she told him not to come to the football games and stuff. Or she put a restraining order on him for some bullshit. That happens. As we just seen it. We just seen it with DDG and Haley over Lil Halo. We just seen it. Falsified documents. You acting like that don't happen. You acting like the woman don't do stuff to push the man away. Granted, men do things, but it's not always men's fault. And I want you men that think like this to understand that it's not always men's fault. Women have faults too. They're not perfect. They came from us. So if we have faults, what makes you think they don't? That's all I'm saying. What makes you think they don't if they came from us and everybody blaming us and say we have faults? What makes you think they don't have none? If it's in the DNA? Brian, I just said your hat was fire and your hat is fire, but you just...
And he chose to be sorry. But somehow, some way, y'all just forget all of that. Like y'all just have no idea of what some of these women go through and what some of these women face. Your mama was.
We don't. We don't. We don't act like we don't know. We know. We know. But why do we have to keep acknowledging the shit that they go through when nobody acknowledges the shit that we go through? We know, and we sympathize and empathize with the woman, whether she's black, white, Asian, Korean, Mexican, it don't matter. We empathize with them, but nobody empathizes with us. That's all. We love our women. We just want a little bit of empathy and understanding, and not freaking sounds like you trying to get your views up and trying to get some lady subscribers. What the heck? Stop using the Bible and God to get your social media clout up by pandering to women.
Was trying to make it happen, trying to do this, trying to do that to raise you and your brother, or you.
See, that's the difference. Men can't try to make it happen. We have to make it happen. We can't try. We gotta make it happen. Or we got brothers like you online telling us how ain't shit we are. Not because we tried, because we gotta.
You and your sister by herself. You and your siblings. Boy, if you are a man and you think this way, you got work to do. You got work to do.
So then he starts to talk about the fact that, well, you see what Jesus did for the woman, and, you know, he gave her.
As a vet, I might lose my job because of this, but I can't stay quiet anymore. Not when I see loving dog owners spending hundreds of
grace. And do you feel that women don't deserve grace? They don't deserve a second chance? And he goes on the tangents about how you're judgmental as a man, and, you know, assuming that every man hasn't had a father in his life, and basically trying to use that argument on men rather than deal what Anton Daniels was talking about. Okay. And again, this is a guy that has something to the effect, a name called the sassy man syndrome. This is what he calls men who are complaining, as he would say.
I hate when people throw Jesus around. Jesus like hoes. He was around Mary Magdalene, and she was a well-known prostitute, aka hoe. Shazam! So what are you talking about? He took her everywhere. He took her to the Last Supper. Shazam! She was in the picture. So what are you talking about?
Are explaining things like Anton. However, if you go through his catalog, all he does is talk negatively about men.
I told you. I told you. And I ain't never seen this man a day in my life. I told you.
Of his criticisms have to do with men. Now, I'm not going to talk about some of the things that I've heard him say. I don't think that he's wrong on some of the things. You know, like I said, a lot of men have to be, all men must be accountable for the mistakes that they make. But when you listen to the brother, everything is about catering to women, every single thing. And everything is about men are the problem. And there's no balance in his content. I'm going to tell you how I know this.
Fellas, let me tell you something real quick. Do yourself a favor and please stop asking women what do they bring to the table. Because the way a lot of you men are nowadays, you're so far removed from Christ, it don't even matter if a woman is willing to answer that question, and what the answer is that she gives you, you're going to find a way to move the goalposts either way. You're going to nitpick. You're going to...
What did Mary Magdalene bring to the table? Did she even get a seat at the table? She was in the picture, though. She was standing on his right side. What is he trying to be, Derek Jackson? Shazam!
Crucify her answer. So if you really want to know what a woman brings to the table, what type of value, what type of favor a wife brings, here's a very boring answer. You ready for it? read God's word. I know you really wanted me to say something long and motivational and drawn out. No, read God's word. Talk to the Creator. He created women. He can tell you any and everything about women. So if you're not willing to submit to Christ, stop whining and crying and complaining about women. If you're not willing to hear what he has to say, you can't nitpick his word. You can't move the goalposts. It is what it is. So a lot of you submitting to these 20 to 25-year-old podcasters, you're submitting to a 20-year-old podcaster, but you don't want to submit to Christ, but you want a woman to submit to you. How does that work? That makes no sense. So if you really want to know what a woman brings to the table, read God's word, fellas. He will tell you any and everything you need to know. And like I said, if you're not willing to do that, play the quiet game.
Now he's saying, stop asking women what do they bring
bro.
to the table. And if you want to know what they bring to the table, tell you what you do. Read the Bible. He doesn't give any scriptures in particular as to what you can look for. He just says read the Bible. I mean, where do they go? The Bible has over 60 books. I think it's like 66. So read the Bible, talk to God, and let God tell you what women bring to the table as a wife, and you don't need to ask them. But I'm pretty sure a guy like this would have no problem with a woman asking a man, what do you bring to the table? See, we got to be real here about conversations in the black community. And I don't have a problem with this guy. Shout out to the brother.
And that's the crazy thing about it. I watch podcasts. I watch all kind of podcasts. I watch black people podcasts. I watch a white people podcast. I watch all type of podcasts. And it seems like we the only one with this dumbass bring to the table shit. What the fuck? Excuse my language. What? Ain't nobody got time for that, bro. Get you a woman. Figure out what she like. If she like what you like and you like what she like and she make you happy and you make her happy, but she has her own happiness and you have your own happiness before y'all get there and the sex is great and y'all can talk, make it happen.
Brother, I think that what he's trying to do is go down the same road that a guy like Derek Jackson might be going.
Boy, I say I'm on something. I'm on something today. I am. I just said that.
And trying to do that, and that's fair. I mean, whatever. You gotta blow up as a content creator somehow, right? I get it. However, the reality is that men like him don't get respect from other men. They just don't, okay? Because when you look at the black community and you see the state of black men and women raised from single parent homes, you will know that both of us are affected. So when a man is telling another man, it's probably not good for you to deal with a woman that's a single mom if you're not a man that's a single mom. It doesn't matter if the man has grace or not. You can have grace for somebody and not want to get in that situation. This is not to say that all single moms are not marriage material or anything like that, but I'm going to tell you this. If you're a man in 2025 and you're on the up and up, I believe you do deserve the opportunity to start your own family. There's enough single women out there that a man can do it. So I think what Anton is trying to tell a guy is, listen, here's your opportunity to go through problems or mistakes. This woman may not be mentally ready to be in a relationship. She may not come from that environment. And that might be an obstacle. When you're dealing with a woman that has kids before, might have been in a relationship with a man, doesn't understand what a male role model is, a father figure. I mean, any man that's dealt with a woman that hasn't had a father in her life, this is not all, but you understand what I'm talking about. There's a big difference in dealing with a woman that's had a father in her life and a woman that has not. And then there's even a bigger difference of dealing with a woman that has a kid and that woman didn't have a father, okay? So now she's going through the same process, recreating herself. I had a person that I recommended for a job one time. Young lady was very talented. Okay, I did a lot for her. Got her the opportunity. She started off very well. She just couldn't stop drinking. Okay? She couldn't stop drinking. She couldn't get her life together. I had risked it all trying to recommend the lady, trying to help the lady, and all of that. What did the lady do? I'm gonna tell you. She ended up getting fired, okay? This is a woman that came from a single parent home, okay? This is not to say that every woman is like this, but I'm just giving you an example of situations that you can see. She could not really understand a family environment. And the people that I recommended her to, they looked out for her like, their own daughter. Took care of her, gave her a place to stay. I mean, the lady was doing extremely well. But because she was not used to that and not used to being loved, she lost the opportunity, okay? She went back to where she was from. She ended up about a year later, it wasn't a year and a half later, ended up getting pregnant by a guy that she wasn't even in a relationship with when she got pregnant. Her mom was a single mom, okay? Her sisters are single moms. She went right into that. And this is very common with a lot of women in our community. Now imagine you're a young man, you're on the up and up, you meet this lady. The lady loves you, you love the lady, but she has that particular mentality. She hasn't been around men before. She hasn't been around that kind of structure. She doesn't know it. And then she has a child by another man and you have no idea how that's going to interact or whatever. So are we saying that she don't deserve grace? Sure, she deserves grace. Don't mean I'm gonna marry you. Should she be judged? Hey, I ain't got time to judge her. I'm too busy doing something else.
Right.
And so guys like this guy, I mean, I just don't get it, family. I mean, like, where is the balance in it? Of course, yeah, men make a whole lot of mistakes. Men are hypocritical. Men do a lot of things you're talking about. But I have yet to see this man say anything on the other side. And the reason why is because here we have another guy out here trying.
Because he is a
and to build an audience talking to women. And I'm sorry, man, guys just, women just don't respect guys like this. And, let women do whatever they feel like doing, running amok. And yeah, this is exactly what you get. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of Thus Are We Drunk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Remember the bell. We're out.
Yeah, man. I don't understand that, man. I don't understand it. I just, So I guess he's the new Derek Jackson, like I said earlier in the video. At least play things down the middle. Like, that's my whole thing. Like, just play things down the middle. Like, if we mess up, cool, call us out. If they mess up, cool, call them out. See, like me, I play it down the middle. And like I talk about that on the Black Jam podcast on the Black Jam Network. BLAKKJAMPODCAST. And with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, share the vibe, and I'm out.
A minute. Your man come pay you a visit. I'm telling you, ain't no more stopping me.